Heidi-ho! Good morning, ladies, germs, and all those outside, inside, in between, left, and right. I warmly welcome you all to the show, the channel, the program. It has no name, it has no purpose. It serves to entertain and to make your skin crawl from your flesh, leaving you naked and susceptible to the elements. My name is Carry-On. No last names, no origins. I stand here as your host, your guide, your source of information. I hope my sanguine enthusiasm will keep you full and entertained, and I hope that you enjoy this recording. Well, the time is 8:03 a.m. I'm back from the woods, and I have brought back treasures from my scavenging. Let's see. First item. A blue jay's feather. For the first time, I'm allowed to publicize my ownership of this feather because corvids are not a protected species. If you, my dedicated listeners, are to go out looking for anything in the natural world, do know the laws of your area to avoid contact with the law. They are quite the nuisance, I must say. It's quite the beautiful feather. Straight from the tail. A shimmering blue that resembles the calm ripples of water in the moonlight. Soft to the touch. I wish I could absorb myself in its beauty. It's quite the lucky find. It's a fortunate start to the morning, if I do say so myself. Second item, a flower I picked growing from a statue consumed by vines and moss within the forest. She's quite the ethereal view, that marble statue. Her draperies complementing her goddess figure, she stands tall with vines entangling her fingers and neck. I'm not very sure how she got in the woods, but each time I get close to her, my head starts to spin. I start to hear voices, soft voices, beckoning me to join her. They say, become one with the heavens, and suffocate within the vines. Sacrifice your blood to her, your body, offer each bone for her to snap in half. Oh, for we all shall fall beneath her spell sooner or later. Our goddess, Neptunia, will guide us and teach us of her ways. We will join her commune, we will flourish under her reign, and we will... It appears the flower I took with me has a similar hypnotic effect to her presence. I had always assumed it was just some dark magic that surrounded that part of the forest, trying to lure away curious fellows like me who yearn for knowledge and adventures. I figured it was just some witch trying to keep that beautiful statue all to herself. I wouldn't blame her, really, but even dark magic stored within the marble would make more sense. But to be stored within this flower, it implies that the power of the statue, or the power installed within it, can be transferred and spread through simple contact with the marble, like an infection. I fear I will have to return this flower to Neptunia, if that is her name, for the safety of others and myself. Anyways, moving on. The third item, last but not least, an elk antler. It appears to have shed off, rather than being the residual of a carcass, which I assume is a prettier picture. I plan to surround this one with the vines and flowers I picked from the sides of my cottage last week. I will further analyze it to determine the health and fitness of this elk it once belonged to. If I had teeth, I could get a better age approximation. But at the same time, I hope this buck is living and well. I can tell it's a buck, and not a yearling due to the sheer size of these antlers, but fortunately, that's all I have. Quite the eventful morning, huh? Well, that's all I have for the time being. So, we'll meet later, friends. Enjoy your breakfast. Drink some water. Take your medications and supplements. Get enough air in your lungs. Stay healthy and stay well. Carry on out. I've always wanted to say that. Good afternoon, my beloved fish bait. I'm sorry. For the past 3 hours, I've been utterly dazed, hardly conscious. I feel strange. Feels as if the tectonic plates have shifted so far that I'm somehow deep within the Earth's core. It almost reminds me of how I felt moments before my heart came to a slow, painful stop. I tried to sleep it off, but as I slept, those voices, they almost got to me. In dreams, it is harder to be rational. Even when proposed with things too good to be true, you cannot possibly know what too good to be true looks like. That kind of intuition is not accessible in a dream. What would a dream be if it was? So, as these voices promised freedom from the mortal shell, the graceful touch of Mother Nature, the privilege to decompose within the earth, I became enamored, and could not seem to rationalize that I could never possibly be given such an opportunity in real life. Thankfully, I was awoken by the ghosts of my closet, who noticed my open eye twitching and became frightened. How funny. I am the one who startles ghosts. Isn't life peculiar? But those cursed mermings haven't gotten to me yet. That damn flower. If I were not so lethargic, I would have returned it by now. I am far too tired to walk all the way back to the forest. Yet I worry, if I don't act soon, they will attempt to strike it again. Whether I have the strength to put up a fight in my fatigued, aching state, I cannot be certain. So I must go now. Go now before it's too late. Wish me luck, won't you? Good afternoon, my wriggling worms. It is 1:24 p.m. and wow, I feel like a new man. If not obvious by my change in demeanor and my ease while breathing, the flower was safely returned. It was tiring, of course, dragging my aching feet back into those woods. Almost passing out in the energy in the crevice Neptunia rests, but persisting anyhow. As I returned the flower to her, I was unable to notice any change in my lethargy or hallucinations, and for a moment I began to worry that this was a peek into my new life. Thankfully, as I left the area, my lethargy began to subside, and the voices faded back into the nooks and crannies of my brain, and I'm as good as new. Whew, close call, huh? Really, I must thank my ghost friend. If he hadn't woken me up, who knows where I'd be? I should really ask that kind soul what his name is. I know many ghosts, but unlike what I had imagined prior to death, they don't hold their physical appearance. Each ghost will look the same, a misty figure with gaps mimicking eyes and a mouth. One thing that differentiates them is their voices. This one, his voice was, gentle, sweet, like honey, tickling my ears in a way that didn't hurt, no, but soothed, more like a gentle caress. What a shame. All the good men are either non-human or dead. I suppose I could share a dance with a ghost, as I technically count for the dead, but my physical matter makes that a bit more complicated. I died, but I am reanimated and hold a physical body, unlike a ghost. So, am I dead? Well, my answer is yes. Blood is pumped through my body by dark magic, not by Mother Nature's grace. I feel how it squeezes my dead heart, forcing the flow of blood throughout my body to resemble being alive, but only to those looking from outside. I very much feel dead, as if any of you could understand what that meant. You lucky bastards. Just imagine this. The feeling of your heart being squished, as if by another's fists, forcing your fleshy, rotting, and exhausted body to carry on despite your yearning, begging to rest. All because some sick bastard can't get enough of you. I suppose I'm flattered, but was this the way to go about it? I'm not one to say no to dinner. Would that have been so hard? I'm getting worked up again. Maybe I should just leave it at that. I hope you're all having a good afternoon, and I suppose I'll just see you in the evening. All good men get better with age. Good evening, my loves. Yes, you are all my loves. Although I cannot see your faces, or hear your voices, or smell your fresh, youthful flesh, I still love you. Just the thought of an audience makes my dead, rotting heart artificially flutter. It is 6:08 p.m. My body aches as consistently as a werewolf may howl at the moon, leaving my spindly limbs weak and unable to perform too strenuous of tasks. On a lighter note, I had mushroom stew for dinner with a side of bread, a meal I take great comfort in. I don't technically require sustenance, but can't a man enjoy himself? The warmth of that broth is to die for. I would let my heart stop over and over and over and over if it meant that I could wake up to a warm bowl of mushroom stew each time. You know, I wish I were allowed to say that I loved you all. I know I'm not allowed, considering the laws and all that, but... Well, I shouldn't even be speaking to you. But I'm not known for my good behavior now, am I? I will never be allowed to hold or touch or see another. I must forever stay confined to my little cottage. It's alright. I have the deer, birds, the shimmering night sky. All a man could ever need. Well, I figure anyone who tunes in is not one who cares much for the laws anyhow, so I just want to say that I love you all. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate even the idea of your company. And I wonder who he is. And I wonder if he's listening. He, the one who carved his initials into my back. Sometimes I'll feel along my back and trace the letters with my fingers. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't hurt either. It just reminds me that I don't own this flesh. The E cut into my back so deeply that fabrics get stuck within it. It didn't hurt, no. I don't ever even recall it happening. Likely he carved it while I was dead. But why? Why did he bring me back? I wish I could meet him. But I believe he's too shy to speak to me. He does not have the courage to take my torn hands in his and sway me in a mock dance. But I doubt he fears punishment. A man willing to partake in necromancy is a man unafraid of anything. So, what exactly is he avoiding? I've never shown discomfort in the way he thickens the air, with the way his feet sink into the grass, echoing outside. I enjoy the idea that there's someone here with me. So, why? I suppose there are certain secrets life must keep concealed, for the sake of the world, or perhaps simply to torment me. Whichever the case may be, I can deal with it. Well, I feel my eyelids getting heavy. Too heavy for me to keep them open any longer. So I will allow myself to go. Where I will go, I don't know. I hope somewhere far. Good night, friends. Till we meet again.